Good afternoon, everyone. Have you been looking for me? Well, I'm right here in the kitchen with Angela. I'm Angela, Creole Roots 47. Thank you for joining me this Saturday afternoon. Today we're going to do a New Orleans dish called Oyster Rockefeller, my way, okay? It's only a serving size for about 1 or 2 people. Like I said, these dishes will only be for 1 or 2 people unless another group calls me or someone decides they want me to cook something for family. But it's all things New Orleans, and today I have my oysters here. I'm going to show you how we're going to be taking care of the Oysters Rockefeller. See that big old beautiful oyster right there? So we're going to start off by cleaning it. But first, since you're here, why don't you subscribe, like, comment, and if you have any recipe ideas or you want to see me cook something, inbox me. But thank you for joining me today. So I'm going to start off by washing the shells of my seafood, my oysters here. So just going to wash out 4 of them. Get the sand and the dirt off from the sea. These are very fresh. We're going to wash each individual one of them. Okay, it's just 4. I'm only doing a dish of 4. This could be for 2 days with the salad. Like I said, you can even do it with pasta or something like that. Or just an hors d'oeuvre before dinner is complete. So I'm just going ahead and washing off my oysters. And then we're going to go ahead and shuck them. I have my special gloves and my special knife. Yeah, all that sand and all the sea is coming off of them. Yeah, so you don't want to lose any of your oyster juices or anything like that either. But you want to clean off your oysters real well. Smells like the sea in here. So there you have it. Now I'm going to put on my safety gloves to show you how I'm going to shuck my oysters, okay? And also, it's going to be cooked on top the stove, the ingredients, and then we're going to add them to the oven. So this is another video that's not going to be very long, but it's a very good video. So here's my oyster shucking knife right here. It has a protective thing on there. This is very sharp. So I'm going to go ahead. I have a pan here. And I'm going to place each individual oyster into my pan. And I'm going to use rock salt to keep them positioned. So I have some kosher salt here. I'm going to put it down in my pan. And this will keep the oysters in place so they can stay steady, okay? So I'm gonna start and find me a good open groove, if there's any. Like I said, this will keep you from getting cut or stabbed. But I gotta find me a nice open groove. He's kind of like, there it is. Okay, I gotta open it right here. Just twist it. Go along the sides. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm maneuvering it. Gotta be real careful when you're fooling with this, okay? And that is a beautiful oyster. There you have it. Look at my oyster, you guys. Isn't that beautiful? It's a big piece too. So I'm going to place my oyster right in the salt. Then I'm going to go, I'm probably going to save these too, because I can make an oyster dressing for you guys. So you can always freeze them. Wash them off real good and freeze them. So I see there's an opening here. Some of them are a little hard, but we'll find a good opening. Don't worry. It is hard, but we'll get in there. I'm finding one here. Get it down in there. Alright, I got another one already. Place it in my rock salt. Don't want to lose the juices. This one's a little hard. I'm going to find a spot, get it open. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful Saturday afternoon. I can't really look at you much right now. I gotta make sure I'm being safe with these oysters, okay? Even though I have my protective gloves on, still want to be very careful. They're really pretty too. Beautiful oysters. Look at that. So I'm gonna save those. Oh, this one I forgot I did open already. Let me scoop the contents in. And here's the other one. So here's my salt. There's my oysters. Okay. So we're gonna switch over. I'm gonna place these to the side. Then we're gonna switch over here. Let me pull these off. I'm gonna have to wash these gloves because they smell just like the sea. But I'm okay with that. They can smell like the sea. That's a good place to be. Crabbing or fishing today. So thank you. If you're just coming in, you're in the kitchen with Angela. Creole Roots 47 is Saturday and we're doing Oysters Rockefeller today. Come on in and join this girl. If you were looking for me, you can find me in my kitchen, in the kitchen with Angela. So I'm turning on my pot. It's just a pan. And since it's only 4 oysters, I'm not gonna be doing a big one for like 2 or 3 pounds or something. I'm just doing a small thing. I told you it's gonna be just a little one for me. Or if I have a friend come over or something. So I'm gonna put my butter in. And we're gonna start sauteing some onions. Just a small bit of onions. Okay. We're gonna be doing some Parmesan cheese. Some people use Romano. I don't really like Romano. So sometimes, but I like Parmesan the best. I'm gonna use spinach. And you know I gotta have my Creole seasoning. You know I have to have my lemon and my garlic. So I'm just getting the butter all melted down. And then I'm gonna add my onions. Just chop the white onions. Okay. And then I'm gonna add some garlic. You know, garlic and butter is so good with seafood. Always. It'll never run dry. Garlic and butter. Seafood. Holy Trinity. Always a good thing. So I hope you know what a Holy Trinity is. New Orleans people call that bell pepper, onion, and celery. So then we always add what? Pièce resistance. We always add garlic and parsley. It just wakes up the flavor in your food. It's so good. So we're gonna get this all cooked down. Once the onions become a little translucent and I start smelling my garlic, then I'm gonna go ahead and add my spinach. See, this is just enough for the 4 over here. The 4 oysters that I have. And then we're gonna place them in a 450 oven for only about 8 to 10 minutes. Not that long at all. If you're a person who doesn't like raw things, then you can cook your food longer, but you don't want it to become tough as well, okay? So, I hope you guys are having a wonderful Saturday. I know I am. I tried to get out the house and go do an oil change. I was too late because it was backed up and I just couldn't do it no more. I say I'm not going to wait out here. We still have to be safe, wear our mask and stuff. And because with me having autoimmune disease, it's not a good idea for me to hang out too long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get up early in the morning. I'm going to be the first person there so that I won't have to compromise my health or anything. I've been doing good this far. I'm going to continue the process. So I have my onions and garlic cooking down. So I guess it's time to go ahead. In a few minutes, I'm going to be adding my spinach, some seasoning. Some people like to use salt and pepper, but I have to have it rich in flavor. So I'm going to use my Creole seasoning. Hey. So, if you see me dancing, it's because I love, love, love to cook. And here's my fresh, good spinach. So I'm adding that to my dish. I'm going to add some seasoning, Creole seasoning that is. The last touch is going to be, I have my Creole seasoning right here. Tony Saturate, or you can use Zatarain. Spinach always needs a little more something because spinach is really good and I love spinach. Like I said, I could eat spinach with boiled eggs too. But I'm doing something a little different today. I'm doing my spinach on top of the stove. It's going to be the filling for our oysters, okay? This is Oyster Rockefeller. Thank you for joining me on my channel. This is where all the good things happen. Recipes galore. So I'm just getting that in. I'm gonna taste it to see if I need to add a little bit of something in there, whether it be salt or pepper. And that's tasting really good. I like that. I like that flavoring. But I'm going to still add a little bit more seasoning in here. I'm going to turn it off. I taste that butter flavor too. I started off with butter, onions, and garlic. I'm waking up my lemon. And we're going to get some lemon in here. I don't want to waste nothing, so I got my trusty dusty right here. So since that's tasting okay, I'll go ahead and get my lemon cut. And we're going to add some lemon in here. This thing is pretty cool. All I do is like this, and the juices fall down in, and it leaves the seeds out. Or you could do the cupping method as well. But I got another toy, so I say, why not use it, right? So I'm just twisting it. All the good juices fall. And there you have it. So now I'm going to pour some of the lemon juice in here. Not all of it. Just a couple of spoonfuls. Okay? And then, one caught me because I was pouring it the wrong way. So, I added my lemon. Then I'm going to add my Parmesan cheese. And I'm still going to add it on top as well with a little paprika. So we're doing Oysters Rockefeller today. This is a good dish. The dish is it's already had on a preheated oven on 450. We're gonna pop these in and we're gonna make it happen within 8 minutes, you guys. So this is not very long. This is a very easy dish to create. So let me just get a spoon. I'm gonna spoon this in on each one of my oysters. And the oysters were really cheap. They really were. 89 cents each. And I just was looking at them. And I was like, Lord, I would love some oysters. So I said, let me go ahead and buy me a couple instead of being lazy. I got it in there. This is a very good dish, you guys. Very good dish. And if there's anything left over, which there always is for me, of course, I'm going to just eat that with a boiled egg, okay? That'll be some kind of lunch or something for me, a little snack. Spinach and boiled eggs to me are great. So I'm going to add some more Parmesan cheese on each one. And then a little paprika. You can always add some lemon on top when it comes out the oven. And what I did was to keep the oysters in good position and not move at all. All I did was I added some coarse salt at the bottom of the pan, okay? So let me see if I can find my paprika, and it's right here in my face. We got our paprika. We're gonna sprinkle. Paprika makes everything pretty. Gives it a little taste too, but it's a soft taste. It's not harsh. Especially good on deviled eggs too. Paprika is really good on deviled eggs. So there you have it. I have my 4 oysters ready to go in the oven for 8 minutes. This is Oyster Rockefeller. And be back in about 8 minutes, you guys. So we're gonna set our trusty timer for 8 minutes, get a little cleaning up going. And while I'm cleaning up a little bit, I just want to talk to you guys about New Orleans and the things we do. We might be found strange or a little weird, but like when someone passes away in New Orleans, what we do is we celebrate their life and dance. We sending them home and ushering them and praising them into the heavens with a dance, which is called a second line. And you might see us waving white rags in the air as we dance and do our thing. And there's a lot of jazz music and stuff like that going on. But that's the way we celebrate. Different ways everybody celebrate different things. But we celebrate New Orleans in a whole different world, a whole nother culture. We celebrate life. We celebrate birthdays. We might just celebrate family. But most of all, we do usher in our people who have gone to rest. Totally different from anyone else. So, yeah, there's the simple potluck. And, you know, you'll come to the repast. That's what we do. We call them repasts. But there's always a ton of food and a lot of people and celebrating the life that was lived on earth. So I thank you so much for joining my channel each week. I may come to you Saturday and Sunday and once during the week, but you know I have a regular job I have to tend to as well. But I do enjoy most of all cooking. That is my thing. That's my passion. I go to sleep thinking about cooking and I wake up thinking about cooking or what recipe I could do or how my mom and them did it and things like that. I also am pleased to be able to tell you guys that my cookbook will be out sooner than you think. I'm going to put it down in the description how you can get a book, my cookbook actually, In the Kitchen with Angela, Creole Roots Girl. You can get a copy of my book. I'm going to put it in the description down below. You can check me out on Instagram, Creole Roots 47. You can check me out on Facebook, Creole Roots Washington. And you could just check me out in the airwaves. Everybody knows about Creole Roots. So, thank you so much for joining my channel. We got a few more minutes left before I can show you the results of my Oyster Rockefeller. I'm going to just go through the process with you. What we did was, first, we started off by picking out the best oysters that we needed, okay? Then you have to put them in the sink and wash them off because oysters still come out to sea fresh. And you have to actually clean off the residue from the sea, and it smells like the ocean. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful smell. So then we use oyster gloves, and we use a special oyster knife to shuck the oysters. You shouldn't be shucking oysters unless you're very professional, and I'm pretty sure they get cut too. You shouldn't be shucking anything without protective gear on. That's one thing. Once you open the oyster, then what I did was I left the juices from the oysters in there, embedded in the oyster itself. Then once I've done that, I went over to my stove, of course, and I'm making up the dish. So it contains spinach. You can use Romano or whatever cheese you like, whatever blend you feel is best, but I love Parmesan cheese. And I used one small onion. It wasn't even 1/4 of a cup because the serving is only for 1 or 2 people. And then what I did was I also did spinach, butter, and a little Creole seasoning as well, and lemons. So first you start off by sauteing the onions, the butter, and the garlic. After I've done that and it becomes translucent and you can smell the garlic rising up, the aroma from the garlic, which is so delightful. Then you want to add in the spinach. So because I like seasonings and I want stuff to taste unique and real good, I added a little Creole seasoning in there. I also added paprika on top for dressing. But after everything was cooked, because you're only sauteing it because the spinach is basically so easy. It takes less than 5 minutes to cook a spinach. So I went ahead and sauteed that down. I did a test to see how the taste was. I liked it, but I added a little more seasoning. Then what I did was I added Parmesan cheese. After I added my Parmesan cheese and stirred it up, mixed it real well together, then I topped it. I used that topping for my oysters. So then after I did that, I went ahead and I actually sprinkled more Parmesan cheese on top. And then I added paprika to make it look pretty, but it also gives it a smoky flavor. So they're in the oven right now. We have about 2 minutes left. They're sizzling up and bubbling. Let me take a look at them and turn on my oven light and see what we're looking at. Yeah, and they're coming together pretty good. So when I pull them out, I'm going to go ahead and let you see the finishing touches. But again, tell me what you like. I mean, you can inbox me, invite others to subscribe to my channel, but inbox me and say, Angela, can you show me how to do this? Or can you create a video on that? That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm doing. If you're looking for me, you always find me in my kitchen. If you want to order and you're in the DFW area, you can always inbox me. I'll be right here and waiting for you. So I'm glad that everyone's having a pleasant Saturday. I'm glad you took the time to join me because you could have been anywhere else in this world. But you decided to click on my page, and I appreciate you so much. But today, it is a seafood fest. We're doing all things New Orleans. Our dish is Oyster Rockefeller. I have 1 more minute left, and I'm gonna show you the final touches of my dish I created today. And I'm so pleased that you're here with me. And if you have any questions, like I said, I'm always willing to talk. My stepdaughter called me this morning, "Ma, how do you make red beans?" And I said, "But you have to have the right ingredients. You know, if you don't have the Holy Trinity, then you don't have no real food, okay? You just don't have any real food, and we not having that." So I have to walk through the store with this girl. She still got some of the wrong things, but it's gonna work like it worked, because she ain't gonna go back to no store. So I told her to use smoked turkey, because they're not a household that eats anything dealing with pork or anything like that. So I told her, like I do, because my son, her brother, is not one that likes pork products either. They just don't stomach that stuff well. So it's just what they are. They don't like it. They don't really deal with it, and that's just that. So I told her, go ahead and get the smoked turkey leg so you can add that in. And my timer is here. So I'll get that shut off. And she's in the kitchen now making her red beans and rice. It takes about 4 to 5 hours. I had her soak the red beans overnight. She did smoked sausage in there. And they're cooking up. She kept calling me to check. "Mama, is this right? Does this look right?" "Yes, it looks right, Ariane." I had to keep telling her. So I really appreciate you guys. This video wasn't that long at all, but it's time to pull out my oysters. Doesn't take very long to cook oysters or any seafood, really. And you don't want to overcook them and make them tough, or then they just fall apart and they're mushy. That's not a good look, okay? So I have my little things here, and they're sizzling up really well. Here you have it. Beautiful, beautiful Oysters Rockefeller, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me in the kitchen with Angela, this Creole Roots girl. Thanks again, and have a great day. Signing off. Bye.